Right, I don't think I'm going to do any more to these. I think they are beautiful. I don't want to spoil them. I don't want them looking any more busy than they already are. I think they look really, really gorgeous. I absolutely love these two. So I'm going to do a seal coat, and then I'm going to mat them, and then I'll come back to you and show you. I'll seal them, mat them on video, obviously, and then a little later on, when I've sorted out hands and feet for them, because these are going to be quarter limb kits as well as cuddle body kits, so there will be the option to get limbs with them, well, little limbs, like, you know, quarter limbs, hands and feet up to sort of like quarter way down the arm, or have them as a cuddle baby. So there'll be the option. So I'm going to seal them and mat them, and I will come back to you, and at some point I'll be adding on videos about painting the hands and feet, and so I'll be adding to these videos, but for now this is the cuddle baby kits painting videos. Okay, I'll be back in a bit. Right, okay, I've had a little bit of a break. I'm going to mix up A and B a bit more this time, because it's going to be for sealing, painting all over. Just a seal coat, which basically just seals all the painting coats, because when you paint you dilute the paint quite dramatically. It's quite thin. Basically a very, very thin coat is going on each time, which is fairly fragile, really. Once it's cured, it's stronger, but it's a lot stronger if you paint a seal coat over the top, which is basically A and B mixed together with some diluted, but stronger than the paint coats were. So we'll add probably about half and half silicone and solvent, obviously clear, and that'll get painted over the whole of the head and the back of the head and everything, and then cured, and then we'll mat them, and then a little bit of gloss at the end, and then that's it, finished, apart from the hair. Right. It's all mixed. So this is the consistency of thin cream, of you know, double cream, single, I don't know, it's double, single cream, whatever, but not the extra thick cream, obviously. I'm making myself feel hungry now. Right, I'm going to do a little in first. I'm just going to spread it over the whole of the head. Just seal it. Take out any little bits of hair that have stuck to the silicone, the wet silicone. Considering my cat was in here earlier, didn't stay long, but still probably left a few hairs behind. when it comes to sealing and matting, well, certainly in the matting, what I tend to do is put the baby's head in an oven on very, very low, like about 100 degrees or less. That's, in America it's different. This is degrees Celsius. In America it's different. Fahrenheit, isn't it? Or is it Fahrenheit here? I'm not sure. But whatever, it's the lowest setting that your oven will go to. So it's just like a very hot summer's day. And I'll put it in the oven for about 7 minutes, and it will cure the silicone really quickly and give it a really good strong coating, good strong coat. Right, that's little Melody. Ugh. Sorry, Melody. Let's put her against something. And little Kato. Not keto. I have to stop saying keto, don't I? He's not a diet. So this is a seal coat, just sealing, just transparent, clear silicone going over the whole of the head and face, and then going to be sealed, going to be cured. And then we'll do the matting. Right, there he is. Make sure there are no drips, and then I'll probably I'll cure this seal coat with a hand dryer, and then when I've matted him and her, I'll probably do it in the oven. Okay, I'll switch it off while I'm just doing that. Right, so they are sealed, they are cool, and I'm going to mat them now. So what I'm doing, I'm applying the same, to be honest, the same mix as I did for sealing them, which is 50-50, A and B, 50%, and about the same amount in solvent to thin them. And I'm just applying it all over, and then what I'm going to be doing is blotting off as much as I can of it, so that it's, instead of being wet, it's just tacky. So like you've spilt something sticky on the table and you've wiped it up with a dry kitchen towel and it's still sticky, but you can't actually see very much, but it's still sticky and tacky. That's how we want it, just as if you've tried to clear it up and not quite managed it, and you've got sticky sugary stuff on the kitchen table and you can't blink and get rid of it, and you try and get it up with water and then you dry it off and it's still a bit sticky. Well, that's how we want it. I'm just going to apply it to both heads, and then I'm going to be blotting it off. Because to be honest, you know, until it's cured, it is going to be sticky anyway. But we don't want it wet. If it's wet, it will absorb too much matting powder, and it will go clumpy and thick. We just want a very, very thin, tacky surface. As I say, just like you've spilt something and not been able to get it up properly. We've all done that. Well, I have anyway. Right, okay. Right, so what I'm going to do is literally handle it to get it all around, take off the absolute excess of it. And same with this one. Right, I'm going to change my gloves and do the same thing again. Dab off the thickest of it, the worst of it. On the face where the creases are, where it's likely to pool and be the thickest. I'm almost removing it, really. It's almost like I'm removing it, but then someone comes along and says, but it's still sticky. You might have removed the silicone, but there's still the surface is still tacky. We're pouring the heads in Ecoflex 20, which is the standard silicone. It's not the super soft, because you don't want a very, very soft squishy head. It's great in a full bodied silicone when it's nice and soft, but given the choice on the head, you be better off. You're better with it a more medium soft silicone. And then we do the flanges in a really hard silicone, so that when the ties grab onto the flange, they're not moving, they're not going to go anywhere, you don't have to worry. Right, so that's sticky, tacky, ready for the powder. I'm going to change my gloves again. The gloves I use are vinyl gloves. Do not wear latex gloves for the same reason what we were saying earlier about latex. Don't use anything with powder on them, and don't use the blue, what are they called? Those blue gloves. Some people are fine with them, but some people have found that they have a problem with the silicone curing when they use the blue gloves. So I just use white, cheap vinyl gloves. The matting powder I'm going to use is Silicon Velvet. As long as it's a really good quality modern silicone matting powder. Obviously don't use anything that's not aimed for, don't use the sugar based ones, don't use talcum powder, obviously. Don't use bicarb of soda or any of the older things that we used to use in the old days before we had these lovely matting powders. Silicon Velvet, SAM matting powder, if you can get hold of it. I think the powder is still easy enough to get hold of. It's just the pigments that seem to be held up at the moment. So I'm just going to mat it all over. Really, you should wear a mask when you do this. Another do as I say, not as I do, because you really don't want to be breathing in a load of dust, a load of silicone matting dust if you don't have to, you know. It's case of it's probably not, it's not toxic, but you don't want to breathe it in. You don't want to breathe in a load of dust into your lungs, do you? No matter what it is. And nothing is completely harmless, you know. If you breathe anything in, you don't want to. Unless you eat it, don't put it in your mouth. Don't breathe it in. You know. Right. They are matted and ready to go in the oven for their final bake. And then I'll take some photographs and come back and do a little bit more video. But I'm really, really pleased with those. That's Kato and Melody. Oops. I'll go and mat them, and I'll go and put them in the oven, and then I can show you properly. Okay. Right, so here we have the two babies. The light's not brilliant in here, so I will do some photography probably tomorrow morning when the light's a bit better, but that's the original sculpt, that's the painted baby, and here again the blank sculpt and the painted baby. As I say, I'll be doing some photography to be able to see properly what we've got, and I'll be putting this video up on YouTube and on my website. And these two kits, to start with anyway, will be available on the website to buy with the bodies, and as I say, eventually they will be available with the quarter limb hands and feet as well, if you wanted to have a go at that. Okay, thank you very much.